evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to inspireD. I'm Anwar Talukder, your host. First of all, I would like to thank everybody around the world who has viewed our shows to give us your enormous support. This is a show to transfer our knowledge, to transfer our experiences, transfer information to each other, to give a boost to our communities, and inspire our younger generations towards education. Tonight we have a guest. As you know that this is not an ordinary show. This is a show we choose people from our communities who are successful, who has some inspirational stories, and we bring that person into our studio to talk about his or her success stories to inspire our younger generations. Tonight we have a guest. Before I talk about her, I want to say a few words about her work. How many people, I think everybody knows about space. Space is an empty space in the sky. And then if I say what is a space station, everybody knows what is a space station. But if we say space station, we think of NASA. But no, it's not only USA. There is a lot of other countries manage and involved into the space station, which is Japan, Russia, European countries, and there is another country, which is Canada. So we have a guest tonight. She's young, successful, an engineer, working in Canadian Space Agency. So we have a guest in our studio tonight. She works in Canadian Space Agency as a mission operation engineer. I welcome Ms. Rubaiya Sarker to the studio. Welcome, Rubaiya. Welcome to inspireD.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you tonight?
I'm good, how are you?
Thank you for being here, and thank you for giving us your precious time to be here to tell your successful stories, inspirational journeys in North America to inspire our younger generations.
Of course, the pleasure's all mine.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the guest is here tonight. Before I go live and talk to her about her success journey, we had an opportunity to go to her residency, and we had opportunity to go outdoor, walk around, and talk about her success stories. So please, let's go and take a look into those clips and see, how successful she is and how inspirational stories she has to share with us. Hello, Rubaiya.
Hi.
I'm Anwar from inspireD. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. So can you go in and do the shooting?
Yes, of course.
All right, thanks. I'll open the door for you.
Thank you.
Hi, Rubaiya. Thank you so much for inviting us to your place to talk about your success journey and success stories in North America.
Of course, welcome.
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
The weather is really beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really nice sunny
day. What a
day.
stunning view also from your place. I love this.
Thank you.
I love your place. So today was a holiday, right?
Yes, it was a holiday.
How was your day?
It was good. It was relaxing.
Relaxing?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your work. Where do you work?
I work for the Canadian Space Agency. It's kind of like NASA, but obviously for the Canadians. And we're not as big as NASA, obviously, but we're getting there, and we're making our name in the space industry.
So it's like you can say this is a NASA for Canada.
Yes, yes, very similar to that, but
do you also work with NASA? And,
yeah, we're affiliated with NASA, the European space agencies, the Russian space agencies, and the Japanese space agencies.
But I understand what is space, but if you define like what is the space, like what do you guys do as a,
Well, the agency has different department that focuses on different things. The majority is obviously working on the international space stations, and that's where my department is, and I work for that department. I focus on that department.
Can I ask what is your position there?
Yeah, well, the title is operation engineer, but it's kind of, my job is kind of like a mission planner, so I plan any mission that has to do with any robotic robotic planning with the International Space Station.
Okay, International Space Station. So what Canada is involved? Like what is
so
the
Canada
involvement
has
there?
a really small but very important role. We built the robotic arm that helped make the space station and helps do all the maintenance in the space station as well. And the arm helps capture cargo ships that go to the space station, and then it will attach it, and then it'll move things around as well. So it's just solely like a robotic arm. There is one arm and one little robot as well that the arm can also attach to itself.
So that's totally managed by Canadians, right?
Yes, it's all done by Canadians. So whenever there is any movement with the arm itself, it has to go through the space agencies, and my department has to give it a go.
Oh,
so
great.
we have to validate all the work that has to be done with
right.
that. So that's why we work with NASA a lot, because NASA will conduct all the experiments, and they'll send all the cargoes, but without the arm, they can't do anything with it.
Space station is normally managed by the Russians, Americans, and Europeans, and Canadians.
Yeah, it has the Canadians, NASA, Russian space agencies, European space agencies, and Japanese space agencies.
Oh, Japanese too. Oh,
yeah.
Great. So thank you so much for telling us about your work, space. It's really interesting, you know. There's viewers out there, like especially the younger kids. I'm sure they'll be, inspired by your story. You're pretty successful, and you were young, and then you were working in space agency as a mission, or you said as an operational engineer.
Yeah,
it's a great achievement, you know. I'm really proud of it, and I'm hoping that everybody around you or people who are watching, they will be proud of you too.
Of course, thank you.
So, how long have you been working there?
I recently got the job. I've only been working there for over a year now. But previous to that, I worked for MDA, which is McDonnell Doelter and Associations, and they're also kind of affiliated with the space agencies, meaning they is a company that makes satellite and they operate satellites. So they're based inside the agency as well. So I got to work with the satellites before that.
So that was before you working for the space, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are they located? Are they located in?
The headquarters for the space agency, it's in Saint-Hubert, Quebec.
Quebec is like
so it's
how long from Montreal?
Yeah, it takes I drive there and it takes me about 40 minutes in the morning. Without traffic, it's like a 30-minute drive, so it's not bad.
So we have a space headquarters in Montreal, and we don't know about it.
Not a lot of people know about it. No, it's a bit remote area. They purposely made it in a location.
Is it near Saint Bruno by airport?
Yes, it's right next to the airport.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So they purposely made it in a remote area so that there isn't a lot of people, and they have their own privacy to do whatever they want to do.
Oh, that's great. Interesting, you know? So, well, we talked about your job a little bit, you know, but it's really beautiful outside, and I like this view. Do you like this view? What a stunning view,
it's
right?
a really nice view of Montreal. Yeah.
That's what the Montreal, right?
That's a mountain, and that's the St. Joseph Church.
Oh, nice, beautiful. It's a stunning place to live, I think. Do you enjoy living here?
Yeah, it's okay. I don't come here often, but it's nice sometimes on a summer day.
You can do party and pool and everything, you know.
Nice.
That's nice. So let's talk a little bit about your job. So before joining your CSA, Canadian Space Agency, you were working for MDA, which is satellite company. Yeah. And did you work before that, or?
So I worked at MDA for about 3 years. Before that, I was just a student.
Yeah.
But I did do internships while I was a student. When I did my undergrad at Concordia, I was part of the co-op program.
Nice.
So I did end up doing 3 internships. So that counts as your work experience as well.
That's great. You know what? This show is to share knowledge, transfer our information to everybody in the community, especially to the younger kids.
Yeah, of course.
Can you please tell us a little bit about co-op program? What is it?
Yeah. So if you study engineering at Concordia, you can also enroll in co-op, which is cooperative education, and what they do is like they kind of like train you for the workforce life after. I mean, obviously it's very different than what you study. It's not ever the same. So what they do is they get agencies to come in for a career fair, and you go and you showcase your CVs and your work experiences and what your interest is, and you can get an internship at any different companies, and it's like a 3 to 4 month long internships. So what it does is like it gives you experience, and you can do, since you have 3 internships, you can do 3 different companies, and it gives you an idea of what you want to work as once you graduate. So I did that. I worked for Pratt & Whitney, which they make engines, and then I worked for the Canadian Space Agency. So I had my first internships there.
So you also worked before you finishing your school in the space already, right?
Exactly. I wasn't working obviously in the same department. The space agency has many departments, and they focus on different things. Space explorations. They do softwares. You could have like so many things like robotics or rovers. So I did my internships there. I had 2 internships there in 2 different companies, 2 different departments. Sorry. And then once I graduated, I knew that I wanted to work for the space agency, and so I got a job at MDA, which is not the agency, but it's very similar and it's very good. They also deal with spaces and satellites. It was really interesting. And then when the opportunity came, and I applied for the agency job and I got it. So here I am.
So, well, thank you for telling us about everything, about your jobs and educations and study in Concordia. Like, as you said, you were in co-op program.
Yeah.
This show is to transfer knowledge, and I would like to ask you, tell us a little bit more detail about co-op program, because, they're probably, the kids are going to finish their college, going to go to school, and university, and maybe it will help them if you provide that information to them.
Yeah, of course.
Like what it requires to be in that program.
So obviously they can go and inquire more and the Concordia faculty, but I know for sure that in order to be co-op, you need to have at least a 2.7 and more GPA, and you need to maintain that throughout your entire undergrad program. It's not hard to get in. I mean,
2.7, it's not.
Exactly. It just needs a little bit of extra work, because what a co-op is, it means you're going to have to get rid of your summer. So whenever you're supposed to have a summer off, you're actually working, or you're taking summer classes and you're working in fall or in winter semesters. So for the 4 year that you're going to be a student, you're not going to really have a break. You're either going to be working or you're going to be in school.
Well, everything requires hard work and motivation, and you have to devote your time.
Of course,
So
and time is like, it's important then, because you're young and you can go through that then.
A lot of energies,
Exactly. Once you get older, you're going to regret not doing it.
Exactly.
And you graduate with experience. So I would suggest and highly suggest that whoever is interested, they should inquire more into it.
Yeah, so the viewers, or especially the younger kids, as you know, that she is explaining what is co-op program at Concordia. I think everybody's out there will work hard to get into that program, and then, but when you work hard, success is right there. You see, that's an example. She's working in space. So how hard you had to work to get into this, position?
It's not about working hard or not working hard. Like luck plays a bit of chance too, I find, but obviously you have to work hard, and anything in life, nothing just comes free to anybody. So like I had to obviously study harder, and you have to go through all the process of getting hired and looking for the perfect job as well. So those things, like it takes time for it to happen, and I just want to tell anyone that not to be discouraged if the first time you do an interview and you don't get the job. I've done like 20 interviews and I didn't get any call back, but it doesn't mean that I was just sitting at home and I was sad or whatnot. It just gives you motivations to try harder, maybe change your attitude toward things, get help from a lot of institutions. They will help you do interviews. There's a lot of free training how to do interviews. You can go and you can talk to people. They'll give you advices. They'll tell you how to write your CV, how to write a cover letter, how to update your LinkedIn profile. So those things really help, and obviously, like as I said, having a LinkedIn profile really helps too. A lot of new companies, they'll look for candidates in LinkedIn as well. So if somebody has a LinkedIn profile, like you know, they should always keep it up to date and put things or the keywords to put things that people look for the right jobs.
All right, so yeah, at the end, that you got to work hard to achieve what you want, you know.
Of course,
yeah. All right. Such a beautiful day. We are at the Jerry Park talking to Rubaiya Sarker. She works for Canadian Space Agency, and thank you for telling us your, stories about your work. And the question now, like, how long have you been in Canada?
I came here in the late 90s. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. All right. So that means like you came as a little.
I was very young when I came.
You came in late 90s, and
I was
you went to kindergarten, or you started from?
No, I went to just like elementary. Because when you come from Bangladesh, you have to go to like welcome classes. And then I learned French there.
French there.
Yeah.
I speak French too.
Yeah, I speak French.
I speak only a few words.
You have to once you live here.
I know, yeah. So it's been a while. So you went to high school here?
Yeah, high school, then college, and then graduated from Concord University.
Wow. And what?
I have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering, yeah. Wonderful. How was your student life? Did you enjoy it a lot, or you studied a lot? Because you said you work in space, so that means you got to be super genius and study hard.
It's not like that. It's not that just because you work in space industry or whatever that you're extraordinary. Anyone can work there. Anyone can do that job. It's fine. But yeah, like there's school life was interesting. It was challenging. I had great friends, and it was fun.
Great friends, but maybe of course you were a best student. That's why you had achieved. You worked hard,
Yeah, I was not a terrible student.
Okay. So far, according to your data you have provided me, that you were pretty successful. Like a young lady like you, being in Canadian Space Agency and then accomplish all of things in life, it's pretty inspirational for our younger generations. But one thing that we all have, ups and downs in life, but is there anything, any downtime in your life that you have to overcome with it, or?
Yeah, of course. Like as you said, like everybody faces downtime and struggles in their life. But what I would just like to tell, especially to our younger viewers, is that once you graduate, you may not have a job right away. And I can speak from experience because I didn't. Even though I had internships, it just was pure unluck. There was like recessions, or I was just waiting for the right job to come. So it took me a while to find my first job. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is that you don't want to get discouraged and just sit at home and hope for the right thing to come. It may take time, but just get out the door, find any job. Just don't sit at home and do nothing. Do something. It could be anything. Like I was testing softwares at a small company in downtown for like 3-4 months till I found my first job. But I wasn't just sitting at home getting depressed. So you have to just tell yourself and pick yourself up and get motivated that things will, if things are meant to be, it will happen, but you have to work hard. I have sent a lot of CVs and I've done a lot of interviews. I just want to have any job. It didn't really have to be in the space industry. I mean, that was my goal and that was my dream, but I've worked other places too, but I always had an eye open for the job that I wanted, and when that opening arrived, I went for it and I got the job.
That's great. Yes, so your advice is to the viewers that you shouldn't stay home and hope for and wait for something to come from the sky.
Nothing's gonna fall on your lap.
Exactly.
You have to go and
work hard for anything you want to achieve in your life.
Exactly.
I know, like during hard time, mostly we need some motivation and inspiration from our, friends, close people. Who was motivating you at that time?
Well, definitely my parents were great support. I come from a really highly educated family. Like both my siblings are engineers, and then they're married to engineers as well. So we have a really educated family.
How many people are there, engineers?
4 plus myself and my husband are also engineers, so we're 6.
Oh, six engineers in one family. Oh my God, you know. So anyway, thank you so much for providing that info. It's a great, you know, achievement for the parents too, you know.
Of course,
They should be proud of you all, you know.
They are, yes.
Exactly. So is there anything you want to talk about family? How about your family? You know?
Yeah, so I have 2 siblings, and they're both professional engineers, and they have great jobs, and they're highly educated and driven, and they're also married to 2 engineers. Them two themselves are very professionally like settled, and they have great jobs. So they're my true motivation, honestly. And I have a great set of friends. They're also very motivational to me because they're on their own very successful. Thank you. Yeah, so as I was saying, like my friends are also like really successful, and then they help me driven, and I just want to succeed further.
Our family members, friends, everybody motivate us every day to move forward, you know, in life. But is there any role model other than your family, like any famous?
Oh, well, like not really like any like famous person, but I would like to say that my husband is probably my role model. And he's been like my role model since day one, and I look up to him like every day. He's a software engineer, so himself is also like very successful. And I consider myself where I am today. It's all because of him. He has been like the sole like motivation and everything.
Great. You know, everybody needs a life partner like this, you know, because we support each other to move forward. If we don't have a life partner like such a way, you know, like inspirational or motivational, then you're stuck into
you need your that one person. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be your husband or like a spouse. It could be a friend, a sister, a brother, anybody.
Exactly.
You just need to have someone that is there. That's your backbone and is there to support you.
I know, as you mentioned, that you were pretty cultured, like you are connected to your culture.
I try to be, yes.
Exactly. So how do you practice anything at home, like to preserve your own culture? You know.
Well, while I was growing up, like my parents always just only spoke to me in Bangla, so I think like that was very important, especially like growing up in a country that is like here. And it's so easy to lose the culture, but I was always involved in like cultural affairs at school, and even at university. I was part of the Bengali Student Association.
At Concordia,
at Concordia,
right?
and so was like all my friends. I have great friends from there. And like at home, even till today, like I tried to attend any cultural affairs. They're hosted with the whole family. You know, we sit together, we will watch like a Bangla movie or something. You know, so just stay
Canada is also like it's a great country because it encourages people from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, exactly. All the different cultures come together.
It is a multicultural country. You know, diversities. You know, people from every corner we can find especially in Montreal.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you love Montreal?
Yeah, I love Montreal. I mean, I was raised here, and I consider this as like
even though I'm not from here, I've been living here for like 5 years, but I love Montreal. You know?
It's nothing like that. You know, it's a great city. It has everything you want.
So it was really nice to meeting you today, talking to you. We'll talk more in our studio when you go live. You know, but it's really my pleasure to know a space girl. You know, such a young age, you have achieved that much. It's really, thing that to be proud of, and it will inspire our younger generations and our viewers for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a one day successful and want to create some inspirational stories, Rubaiya, Sarker can be a good example. Thank you again.
Well, thank you for
we'll
having
talk again
me.
At the studio.
Of course.
Okay. Thanks a lot. So, all right, well, it's really nice to talking to you,
Thank
and
you,
we'll
likewise.
talk again. All right, okay. So we go.
What is success? Is it about having a huge bank account? Or is it about having a dream job? Or perhaps having a huge business? Well, I don't think so. Success is everything. It is about having a complete life with some inspirational stories to tell. I'm Anwar H. Talukder, bringing up all those hidden successful stories from our communities to Nagorik TV every first Sunday of each month at 8 p.m. Please stay tuned. to be inspired. Sponsored by Transit Driving School in association with Nagorik TV.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it. And now let's talk to the guest. So, Rubaiya.
Yeah.
We have seen a lot about your success stories. You know, you have told us about your work, family, friends, and now I get questions like, if you want to see yourself somewhere in future, what would you like to see?
So, as I said, like, yeah, I'm successful now, but I do want to grow, and I do want to become even more successful. So, I mean, there's so much to do in engineering. It's not just what I'm doing right now. I can do like a manager position, or I can become more technical engineering. So I haven't thought exactly what I want yet. I still want to explore. I still want to do different types of job to see what I truly want. So I don't know, it could be something technical, or I could be a manager in the next few years, so who knows.
But so do you want to stay in the same field as, like, you know, in the space agency, or are you going to go in different environment to explore different things?
Well, before I was at the agency, I was in a private company too for a few years, so I kind of do know how it is. And honestly speaking, being in a federal government company, it feels privileged, and it's not a position that anyone can get that easily, so I wouldn't want to let it go.
Oh, okay.
But there are so much to do. There's so much to learn there as well. So even though I might stay still within the government, I could explore different departments.
Learning has no limit.
Of course, yeah, you can learn till the day you die.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and especially the younger kids, you know, learning has no limit. So you got to work hard and learn more. So now, you know, we talked about your work, pretty inspirational. You know, it's really it's really to be proud of something that you are doing, you know. And now, okay, so let's say, how do you want to involve yourself? I know you are from Bangladesh, you were born in Bangladesh, you came to Canada, you grew up here in Montreal. Like, let's say, if you want to help the Bengali communities, like how you are going to involve yourself to improve or give a boost to our Bengali kids in our communities, you know?
Well, obviously, I want to give my 110% to my community. You know, I'm really in touch with my root, and it's something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
So I do shine, and I do talk about like my roots wherever I go, and I try to make it a point. But it's hard to find time and give as much to the community back. You know, especially with like a career and like a family and stuff. But I would say, like, you know, whenever there is any social event, any community events, like I will be there and to support. And especially if any younger generation, if they need any support in terms of like education, advices, they can only reach out, and I could be there for that.
That's really great. Thank you so much. You know, we want people like you in our community. It's not only the people that like think of themselves. We want people in our community to think of themselves plus think of others, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you so much. And from your own experience, you know, there is lesson learned in life, ups and downs. Like, if you want to give advice to our younger generations or to the viewers, like, is there anything you want to say as an advice to the kids or advice to the viewers, like, who are seeking for some, you know, opportunities, you know? Of
course. I just want to say that it's very important that the younger generation focuses on education. I mean, when you're young and we're in school, you don't realize the value of it. But it's when you graduate and you're out there and you realize that you have the rest of your life to look forward to. So education is very important. It's only a couple of years compared to the rest of your life. So I would say focus and do something that you have a passion for, not just something that's going to earn you money, let's say, you know, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a career for the next 30, 40 years. So you have to be true to, like, love what you do and be passionate about it. So I would just want to say that no matter what, find your drive and then just stick to that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's pretty inspirational, you know. Then another thing, I know you're pretty helpful, you're kind, generous, you know. And I am thanking you for being here on behalf of Nagorik TV and on behalf of everybody involved into this great project. And now my question is like, if I ask you to leave your contact information for the kids or for the viewers who will probably be contacting you for any information or for any
anything
advices.
I can help. Yeah, I could have my personal information there.
Like email address.
Yeah, my personal email and my LinkedIn ID as well.
Yeah.
So people can follow me and ask me advices.
Yeah.
I would be glad to help anyone who needs any advice with whatever it is, whether it be work related, whether it be school related, or any advices on what kind of job they would like to do, whatnot, anything it may be. They can always reach out, and I'll be glad to help them out.
Perhaps for some advices, like in future, probably a lot of people don't know what they should study. Like in, let's say now something is trending, probably in 5 years, it will be changed, something new will come up. So people like you probably have information,
Exactly, for sure, or even if somebody is interested in, for example, when I got the job at the federal government, you have to go through a very specific interviews and assessment to get into the job. So if they want to inquire about that, a lot of people don't know about that. I personally didn't know that I had to enroll in this kind of interview process to get a job. So I could obviously help them with that, give them more information, prepare them if they're interested in that. So yeah, of course.
Thanks a lot. But thank you for everything. But at the end, we'd like to improve ourselves too, inspire.
Of course.
What should we do to improve? If you have to improve, what's your suggestion?
You guys, honestly, what you're doing, it's something tremendous, and I look forward for your episodes, and I wish you guys all the best for your future episodes and your future guests that you're going to have. And I encourage the audience to come forward with any inspirational stories that you have. It doesn't have to be educational related. It could be anything that was inspiring, that got you success in life. So come forward with the stories and reach out to you guys you can bring it forward to the rest of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, as she said, this is a show to inspire our younger generation, share information, share knowledge, and transfer our experiences, information, and to give a boost to our communities and inspire our younger generations toward education. Until we find the next stories, please stay with us. We'll be back in a month with another successful story, another inspirational story. Until then, let's work hard. Let's create some inspirational stories and give a boost to our communities, help each other, and live happily. Thank you, and see you in a month.